moves it over onto the near wing as that's Peterson-Wilkins. Peterson-Wilkins flips that over to Poole. Poole over on the far side. Back over to Peterson-Wilkins. Ball back over Purnell into the paint. Put up and rolls off the near side. Kucinich with the rebound. Pioneer coming the other direction. 5:51 left to go here. As that is brought up. Whistle. 3-2 is our score. .5:42 left to go. That brings it up here in the first. Huron in the front court as Flag has a flag down the baseline. Flag into the paint. Put up. As that goes in. Looks like basket counts for Flag. That ball set. Flag has it. Flag puts it up. Puts it in. Flag with 3 points. Makes it 3-5. That ball brought up by Dunlop. Dunlop has it. Bring it over midcourt. Dunlop. Try and edit it to get our scoreboard going here. That put up by Hayes. Hayes, that rims around. That'll go out. Huron brings it up. They have the 5-3 lead here on JV as Flag brings it ahead. That put up off to the near side. Now again, up and in. As that is 7. And one put up by Humphreys. Over on the far side, Dunlop just over midcourt. Dunlop on the blockades. Dunlop coming over, now racing down Seinfeld, chop down the baseline, gets over to Kucinich. Kucinich on the near side of the paint. Whistle there. That ball back grabbed. Work his way around. Page moves it over the far side. Now working. That taken away by Huron coming the other direction. Ball out of bounds. Huron will inbound the ball. As that ball now to the line, shooting is Poole. Trying to add to a 4-point lead here for Huron. Purnell goes off. Up and in for Purnell. Next one up and Patterson-Wilkins. Poole, excuse me. I don't know why that was 2 points for Poole. Now Seinfeld chop has it. Tipped away, coming the other direction. Here comes Flag. Flag down the near side of the paint. Up and in. Flag with 5 points. And it is now 11-3. Huron with the lead. Dunlop taking a long three-pointer. That pulled down by Flag, coming the other direction by Huron. Out of bounds. Pollock looks to come in for Pioneer. Pioneer Pollock gets it over midcourt, coming down the near side into the near corner for Blank. Blank down the baseline. Blank puts it up off glass and in. Blank with 2 points. That makes it 11-5. Huron with the lead. In the front court is Flag. Flag on the near wing. Flag for Huron. Down the baseline into the paint. Flag dishes it off. Put up by Poole, off the rim, pulled down by Hayes. Hayes moves it over. Seinfeld chop up the near side of the paint. Seinfeld chop dishes it off into the near corner for Pollock. Back to Seinfeld chop. Now Pollock in the near corner, working his way around the arc. Back to Seinfeld chop. He's on the near wing. Seinfeld chop comes top of the key now, out by the logo. Seinfeld chop steps back. On the far sideline, Seinfeld chop into the paint, puts up a floater off the front of the rim. That pulled down, coming the other direction is Poole into the paint, up off the bottom of the rim, but that will be a whistle and a foul on Pioneer. Looks like we do not have an announcer here for the JV game. Hopefully Michael's typical JV announcer is all right. Poole to the line, trying to add to a 6-point lead. Huron cheerleaders are here. I think Pioneer will be here for the varsity game. First one is up, rattles around, falls off by Poole. One more coming. You can make an even 12 points for Huron. Davis comes in for Pioneer, so it is out there. Page, Pollock, Davis, Seinfeld chop. I think that's Kesenick, the other one out there. Poole puts it up and in. So that's going to be 12 points for Huron, 3 for Poole. Pioneer inbounds. As that ball inbounded by Davis. Now Blank gets it back to Davis. Blank, the other person was out there. Now Davis over midcourt. Davis hands it off to Blank. Now back to Pollock, right by the logo. Pollock dribbles to his right. Gets it over to Page. Page just off the free throw line. Now Blank right by the top of the key. Bounce pass over to Davis. Davis dribbles. Now flips that back over to Seinfeld chop. Seinfeld chop on the far wing. Seinfeld chop. Heavy pressure by Huron over to Pollock. Pollock dishes it off into the near corner for Davis. Davis into the paint. There's going to be a whistle and a foul. 2:19 left to go here. Pioneer to inbound, baseline left. That ball inbounded to Blank. Bounce pass over to Pollock on the near wing. Into the near corner for Seinfeld chop. Into the paint for Blank. Bounce pass over far side of the paint. That put up off the near side. The far side rim wouldn't go for Page. Coming the other direction. Here comes Flag. Puts it up. Rolls around and in. And Flag now has 7 points, and it's 14-5. Huron with the lead. Pollock has it just over midcourt. Pollock over on the far wing for Seinfeld chop. Seinfeld chop gets it top of the key for Blank. Blank looking to his right, gets it back over to Seinfeld chop on the far wing, trying to be watched back over there by Nkia and Kihi. Now Seinfeld chop into the paint. That put up and in. That makes it 7-14. Seinfeld chop with his first points of the game. He has 2. Flag in the front court for Huron, puts up a long 2-pointer. That one a little long, pulled down by Davis. Here comes Pollock over to Blank on the near wing. Blank into the paint. Blank bounce pass into the near corner for Seinfeld chop. Seinfeld chop thought about it, dribbles to his right, kicks it over to Davis. Now back to Pollock off top of the key. Pollock looking to his left, gets that back to Blank. Now over to Seinfeld chop in the near corner. Seinfeld chop into the paint. Over to Pollock from the far elbow. Up off the back of the rim. That falls down to the near side. Grabbed by Busby. Now bringing it ahead is Abukov. Abukoff over. Did not get a chance to double check these pronunciations before the game. Forgive me. Hudson has it. Down on the baseline, put up. That rolls off the far side of the rim, pulled down by Davis. 14-7. Huron with the lead. 35 seconds left to go here in the first. Into the near corner. Page comes the near side of the paint. Back to Davis in the near corner. Now over off the top of the key to Blank. Far wing for Pollock. Far corner as that Seinfeld chop. And trying it. That intercepted by Abukoff. Into the paint. Goes down. That's going to be a travel. 17.7 seconds left to go here in the first. That ball working his way down. Blank gets it over midcourt. Now into the paint. Blank, after whistle, puts that up. That ball inbounded with 6.3 seconds left to go here. Seinfeld chopped inbound, gets that in as Davis gets it back over to Blank. 3 seconds left, tipped away. Here comes Huron the other direction as that ball put up high, won't go as we head into the second. Here, 14-7, Huron with the lead. As we are into the second period here. We'll step away with a quick message from the MHSAA.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As Huron will inbound right in front of it's Purnell. Purnell gets that ball inbounded as that will come ahead as Hudson has it to the front court. Hudson gets it back over to Linnick. Linnick over onto the far wing for Poole. Poole. Far sideline, kicks that back over to Humphreys. Now along the near wing, working it in is Purnell. Purnell puts it up off glass, wouldn't go, popped up, and put up again by Humphreys, wouldn't go. Pioneer with the rebound. Kucinich gets it over to Blank. Now Seinfeld chop over to Blank down the far sideline. Blank dribbles into the paint, puts it up off the back of the rim, wouldn't go. Poole with the rebound for Huron. 14-7, Huron with the lead. Poole on the far sideline. Poole on the far wing, kicks it over to Purnell. Purnell right on the blockades for Pioneer, just over midcourt. Now that ball over to Poole on the far sideline. Poole dishes it, trying to come into the paint as that was Humphreys. Collision, he goes down. Believe that was on Blank as that ball will be inbounded baseline right by Poole for Huron. 7:05 left to go before halftime. 14-7. Huron with the lead in the JV contest. Ball over on the far sideline for Linnick. Linnick gets it back over to Hudson on the far sideline. Hudson just off the top of the key. Now over to Purnell. Purnell. That ball working his way. Poole has it. That put up. Wouldn't go. Pulled down by Kucinich. Kucinich has it coming down the near wing. Now Dunlop over midcourt for Pioneer. Dunlop gets it over top of the key, stepping back. Dunlop just in front of the logo. Kucinich on the far wing. Kucinich dribbles to his right. Back over to Dunlop. That is going to be a foul. Foul on Purnell. One on Pioneer, one on Huron. Kucinich or Blank to inbound that over to Dunlop on the far sideline, right in front of the scorer's bench. Dunlop trying to back his way over. Dunlop gets it over to Davis. Davis on the near wing, back to Dunlop. Right on the P for Pioneer. Dunlop. And knocked away. Coming the other direction is Purnell. Purnell puts it up and in. That makes it 16-7. Purnell with 2 points. That ball down the near side of the paint. Bounce pass underneath. Put up and in by number 44. Maybe that's Costello. That ball brought into the front court by Poole for Huron. Now over, Linick gets it on the far wing. Purnell trying to come down the baseline. Purnell puts it up and in. That makes it 18-9. Dunlop trying to bring it ahead. Purnell with 8. Over to Blank. Now Davis has it on the far wing. Davis to the far elbow. Dunlop for 3. Rattles around and in. Dunlop gets a big three-pointer. That makes it 12 for Pioneer. As Dunlop has 3, another three-pointer. That rims off for Huron. Pulled down by Davis. Here comes Pioneer the other direction. Back over to Dunlop, over midcourt. Dunlop has it. Dunlop on the near sideline, comes top of the key. Bounce pass to Blank in the paint. Blank whistle. 4:57 left to go. Looks like Humphreys picks up that foul. Pioneer to inbound, baseline left. Timeout call. Coach DeWolf pulls his players over. Let's play a little push on, and we will be right back. 4:57 left to go here in the second before halftime. Pioneer in their white jerseys, Huron in the green. Pioneer going from right to left here in this first half. Davis looking to inbound. Davis gets it into Dunlop in the near corner. Dunlop over to Hayes. Hayes into the paint, puts it up. That off the far side, the near side, and bounced out. Coming the other direction is Poole for Huron. Poole into the front court on the near wing. Poole dribbles to the top of the key, puts up. That blocked by Hayes, but grabbed as it comes in. Flagg has it on the near wing. Flagg near sideline, gets that back over to Poole right on the block. Hayes now over onto the far wing. Patterson Wilkins had it. Linick, top of the key. Back over to Patterson Wilkins. Now Flagg trying to dribble his way in, and that's an offensive foul. That will be Pioneers' ball. 3 fouls on Huron, 1 on Pioneer. Hayes to inbound, baseline right. And to Dunlop. Dunlop trying to work his way over midcourt for Pioneer. Dunlop right on the block. Hayes dribbles to his left to the free throw line. Put up and in. Dunlop has 5. And that makes it 18-14, 4-point game for Huron. Flagg puts up a three-pointer from the far wing off the back of the rim. That knocked down. Flagg gets it back on the far wing for Huron. Flagg dishes it off. Poole in the far corner down the baseline. Poole puts it up. That ball's off the near side of the rim. Knocked down. Popcorn out of bounds. That is going to be Pioneer ball with 3:43 left to go here before halftime. Dunlop brings it over midcourt. Dunlop. Over on the near wing for Davis. Davis. Back to Dunlop on the near sideline for Pioneer with 3:27 left to go. 4-point lead for Huron here in the first half. Davis up into the paint, spins around and in. It's a 2-point game. Davis with his first points. He has two. Flag in the front court for Huron. Flag trying to come down the baseline. Over to Poole, three-pointer from the top of the key. That comes off the near wing, grabbed by Dunlop. Pioneer with the opportunity to tie or take the lead. Dunlop coming ahead and a whistle. That will be on Patterson Wilkins, I believe. 3:01 left to go. Dunlop has the ball right over midcourt. Dunlop gets a screen. I believe that's Costello. Dunlop just over midcourt. Dunlop comes over to the near wing. Dunlop to the free throw line over Hayes for a three. Off the back of the rim. Wouldn't go as that pulled down by Patterson Wilkins. Here comes Huron the other direction. Flag on the far wing. Three-pointer for Flag. And he hits it. Flag. He has a game-high 10 points. And it's 21-16 Huron with the lead. Dunlop. Timeout call by Pioneer. They were coming close to a 5-second call there. We'll play a few more messages from the MHSAA.
If you're a recent high school or college graduate and still have a passion for the games you played in school, still remember the thrill of putting on the uniform, why don't you help us out and become a registered high school game official? Get out there and give something back to our kids. Visit the MHSA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Integrity, commitment, love of the game. These traits describe the people high school sporting events can't start without. The officials. They're out there every day giving back to our kids. Let's give them the respect they deserve.
Coming up, here comes Pioneer. Dunlop gets over midcourt. Dunlop over on the far sideline. Dunlop trying to work his way to the top of the key. Dunlop making a move over to Hayes. Now that ball over on the far side to Costello. Costello dishes it over to Blank on the far sideline. Dunlop just off the top of the key for Pioneer. Hayes gives him a screen. Calling out signals. Now over to Hayes on the near wing with 1:55 left to go. That ball pulled away by Busby. Here comes Huron the other direction. Racing ahead with it is Flag over midcourt. Flag over on the far wing. That was Poole. Now that's Flag over on the near wing. That's the three-pointer. That gets him 13, and it's 24-16 as Huron back on a 6-point run. Over to Hayes, who puts up a three-pointer of his own and hits it. Hayes answers back. That's his first points. Huron brings it into the front court for Poole. Poole on the far wing. Poole gets it over to Patterson Wilkins. Now to Flag on the near wing. Flag dribbles to his right. Flag down the baseline over into the far corner for Poole. Poole down the baseline. Poole puts it up off balance. That's going to be a travel. 5-point lead by Huron before halftime. 1:02 left to go here in the second. Ball over by Hayes. Flag providing pressure. Hayes for Pioneer. Into the paint, put up. Kesinich puts it up and in. That gets it back to a 3-point lead as Patterson Wilkins has it in the front court for Huron. Patterson Wilkins down. That off the side of the rim. Pioneer has it down by 3. Quickly ahead. Hayes into the paint. Tipped away. That's going to be Huron's ball. 39 seconds left to go here before halftime. 24-21. Huron with the lead. It was a 7-point lead at the end of the first quarter. Here comes Poole ahead with it for Huron. As Poole has it into the front court. Poole over, and it's grabbed by Busby. Busby over on the far wing for Patterson. Is that put in? Patterson Wilkins hits it. Patterson Wilkins with his first three-pointer. And that makes it 27-21. Huron with the lead with 15 seconds left to go before halftime. Hayes gets it back over to Dunlop. Dunlop works his way on the near wing. Dunlop into the paint underneath. Kesenich puts it up and puts it in. 27-23. As that up and off the rim. Kesenich has 4. Let's play a few messages from the MHSAA.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
If you're a recent high school or college graduate and still have a passion for the games you played in school, still remember the thrill of putting on the uniform, why don't you help us out and become a registered high school game official? Get out there and give something back to our kids. Visit the MHSA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Integrity, commitment, love of the game. These traits describe the people high school sporting events can't start without. The officials. They're out there every day giving back to our kids. Let's give them the respect they deserve. Better yet, why don't you become one? Visit the MHSAA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You're hearing it. The message is getting through to parents. Multi-sport athletes get injured less. Multi-sport athletes become better in their primary sport in the long run. And even though it's not why we play our games, multi-sport athletes are now getting recruited more than specialized athletes. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You have to wonder sometimes how folks in the stands, so far removed from the action and who have probably never had any training, actually think they can see the play and apply the rules better than the officials assigned to a game. If you're that good, please register immediately at MHSAA.com. We need more officials on the playing surface and fewer in the stands. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Think of a high school game as a 4-lane highway. Coaches, players, officials, and spectators, each with their own lane. Sportsmanship depends on everyone not crossing over the line. Fans keep it between the lines when they cheer positively for their team. So don't cause an accident. Stay in your lane and let the coaches, players, and officials do their jobs. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Power Ratings will be used this year in soccer, basketball, and boys lacrosse to seed the district tournament in those sports, and you can follow along. Visit your school's page on the MHSAA website to see how your team is faring, and you can look at statewide lists as well. And if you see your team is missing a score, submit it. Learn more about the Michigan Power Rankings at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Maybe you've seen the videos of the specialized sports parent support group, or the kid holding a press conference to announce his retirement from sports. The problem is, they'd be really funny if there wasn't a lot of truth there. Multi-sport participation provides a healthier experience and lifestyle for kids and families. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Sportsmanship is still relevant in school sports. Good sportsmanship should be a given at our games. It's one of the primary reasons we have school sports to begin with, to help today's young people become tomorrow's community leaders. You can learn more about sportsmanship and download a full kit of sportsmanship ideas from the MHSAA website at mhsaa.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Why do high school sports really exist? For 99% of the participants, it's the biggest stage they will ever play on, and it provides the most educational value, teaching sportsmanship, ethics, integrity, hard work, and teamwork. It's about playing with local friends against local rivals and creating lifetime relationships. They build community spirit, and they're worthy of your continued support. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Let's go over what I have thus far for scores. They are not official, but on the Pioneer side, Dunlop with 5, Seinfeld Chop with 2, 3 for Smith, 2 for Blank, 2 for Davis, 4 for Kesenich, 3 for Hayes, and 2 for Costello. On the other side, it is Patterson Wilkins with 3, 4 for Poole, 13 for Flagg. Thank you, sir. Purnell with 8 and Humphreys with 2. As we're about to get ready for the second half of the JV game, we will have the varsity contest coming up next, as it is Pioneer at 15-3 versus Huron at 18-2. I believe this game will decide the SEC Red. As we got about a minute 50 before we head back for the third quarter here of the JV contest. One programming note, we did have on our schedule a game for Michigan women's hockey at Eastern tomorrow. Eastern has, due to apparently the amount of room in the rink, has denied our broadcast. So they will have their own stream. We have it up on our website. So if you're looking for that tomorrow, look on our website. We'll have the Eastern Michigan stream out there. Really wish we could do that game, but what can you do? So both of these squads getting warmed up here on across the way, gathered around their coaching staff with 1:08 left to go. Pioneer shooting around to our right. It was a 7-point lead, 14-7 at the end of the first, as it was a 13 points in the second for Huron, as opposed to 16 points for Pioneer in the second. So that's where we're at here, as we're about to head into the third period here. And we'll have the varsity contest coming up right after this. Huron now going from right to left in this. The second half, Pioneer going left to right. Blank will inbound right over on the near sideline. For, again, Pioneer varsity, total of 2 losses for Huron, 3 for Pioneer varsity, so 2 very outstanding teams. Dunlop has it for the JV Pioneer team, over on the near wing to Blank, into the paint. Kesinich puts it up, rolls around, and in. That makes it 26-27. Kesinich with 6 points. Huron into the paint. That put up wouldn't go by Humphreys, pulled down by Kesinich. Now quickly the other direction. Dunlop down the far sideline for Pioneer. Dunlop on the far side of the paint. Dunlop into the paint, puts it up off the front of the rim, wouldn't go. Dunlop gets his own rebound. That is going to be Huron ball with 7:30 left to go. As bringing it ahead is Flag. Flag brings up the center of the court. Flag gets it over on a give and go. Flag down on the far side of the paint. That blocked. Getting it back, put up. That's going to be a foul. Flag to the line, trying to get it back to a 4-point lead. 27-25 with 7:15 left to go here in the third. Flag puts it up and in. Flag with a game-high 14 points. Second shot coming. (6'2" Flag. He hits that. He is a freshman, and he's been having a heck of a game. Over 15 points for Flag. Dunlop to the free throw line. Over to Hayes. Hayes trying to get it into the paint. That pull by Flag the other direction. Flag down the near side of the paint. Puts it up and in. 31 points now for Huron. Flag with 17. That ball over. Hayes trying to get to it. Knocked away by Huron. That into Poole. Poole puts it up off glass and in. Poole has 33, Huron has 33 points, and that makes it 6 for Poole. 6:38 left to go here in the third. Hayes brings it ahead into the paint. Now down the baseline, Blank has it. Blank gets it back to Hayes. Hayes puts up the hook. Wouldn't go as that rims out. Out of bounds. That is going to be Pioneer ball. 6:26 left to go here in the third. Dunlop to inbound baseline right. Costello comes in for Hayes. Blank into the near corner. Blank gets it over onto the near wing for Smith. Now over on the far sideline. That put up by Dunlop off the near side of the rim. Wouldn't go. That pulled down by Patterson Wilkins. Patterson Wilkins for Huron. Over midcourt. Patterson Wilkins calls out for a screen. Gets it back over to Humphreys. Humphreys over on the near wing. Over to Purnell. Purnell gets it back as Poole hands it off. Now over on the far wing. Flag with it. Flag down the baseline. Off balance. Puts it up. He goes down hard. Good sportsmanship. Couple Huron players as well as Kesinich helps him up. Here on the inbound baseline left. Parnell on the inbound. Parnell puts it up high. That ball all the way back. Picked up by Flag on the far sideline in front of the scorer's bench. Flag over on the far wing. Comes to the free throw line. That put up off the back of the rim. Trying to pull it down is Costello. Loose ball. There's a whistle, kick ball. That is going to be Huron's ball as Patterson Wilkins to inbound baseline left. That ball all the way out to flag. Over on the far sideline for Patterson Wilkins. Travel. That will be Pioneer's ball with 5:35 left to go here in the third. Smith inbounds to Dunlop for Pioneer. Pioneer brings up the near side of the court. Dunlop over midcourt. Dunlop over on the far wing to Smith into the far corner. Blank trying to work his way through a double team. Blank and the far elbow gets it back over. Smith all the way over on the near wing. Dunlop for three. Off the near side of the rim. Kestenich gets it. Kestenich puts it up. That a little too strong. Smith with it. Smith puts it up and in. As it's 33-27. Smith with 5 points. As Poole has it on the far wing for Huron. That ball moved back over to Purnell on the far wing. Now to the free throw lane. Purnell puts up a long two. That put up and in. That makes it 35 for Huron. 27 for Pioneer. As that ball quickly pulled away, racing the other direction. Here comes Huron, stopping flag on the near wing, gets it over. Patterson Wilkins with a three-pointer wouldn't go. Dunlop has it in the backcourt for Pioneer. Dunlop over midcourt. Dunlop on the far sideline. Dunlop trying to work against Poole. Screen by Kestenich. Dunlop to the top of the key now over on the near wing. Gets it back from Blank. Dunlop dribbles to his left, down into the paint, putting it up. There's going to be a whistle and a foul. Looks like that's going to be on number 12, which would be Purnell. That would be his second. 2 fouls on Pioneer, 1 on Huron. Here in the third, Dunlop trying to get this to a 6-point game. Up and in by Dunlop. Excuse me, that's 27. Should move that back. There we go. Sorry, trying to race to get things set up. I worked until 5, so at the day job, forgive me, we didn't have the scoreboard connected, so I'm doing that manually. Dunlop up and in. I could have left it at 28 as he gets 2 more points, and it's 35-29. Now coming up the near wing, that put up by Hudson, wouldn't go, pulled down by Smith for Pioneer. Dunlop for Pioneer, bringing up the center of the court. Hudson watching him. Dunlop down the near side of the paint, underneath, put up by Kestenich, fouled. Purnell can't believe it. That is going to be his 3rd foul. He talks to the official. So 3:55 left to go here in the third. Kestenich to the line. First shot is up and good. 28 points for Pioneer. Kestenich has 7. That ties the lead for all Pioneer scores. Opportunity to get to a 4-point lead. Wouldn't go. Costello with it. Kestenich puts it up and in. 35-32. As that ball down. Now put all the way over into the near corner. Working his way around is Enkahi. Now over onto the near wing. That put up by Abukov. Pulled down. Now coming the other direction. Here comes Dunlop in the backcourt for Pioneer. Over midcourt. Pioneer down by 3. 35-32. Into the near corner for Smith. Back to Dunlop. Dunlop for 3. That off the near side of the rim. Pulled down. And back to Dunlop just over midcourt. Dunlop being watched by Enkahi. Now back over to Smith. Hands off to Dunlop on the near wing. Dunlop dribbling to the near side of the paint. That put up as Costello off the near side of the rim. Wouldn't go. Out of bounds. Tipped by Huron. Pioneer to inbound baseline right with 2:59 left to go here in the third. Varsity contest again should be coming up just after this one, about 7 o'clock. Kestenich has it on the far sideline, and That is going to be a turnover. Didn't see the signal probably travel as here comes Flag bringing it ahead for Huron. Flag comes over midcourt. Flag over on the near side of the paint. Flag working against Blank, comes top of the key. Flag steps back over onto the far wing. Kesnich watching it. Flag down the far side of the paint. That put up off glass in. I think that will count. So Flag with 19 points and 1. Flag to the line. He can get back to a 6-point lead. Freshman puts it up and in. Makes it 38-32. Flag with a game high 20 points. Pioneer brings it ahead over midcourt. Dunlop over onto the near wing for Smith. Smith double team, dishes it off over to Costello. And poked away. Pioneer will inbound baseline right with 2:28 left to go here in the third. 38-32. Huron with the lead. Blank to inbound baseline right. Blank gets it into Dunlop in the near corner. Dunlop in there working against Busby. Dunlop steps back, three-pointer. He hits it. Dunlop for 3, and it's 38-35. Dunlop now has 10 points over midcourt. Is Flag for Huron. 38-35, three-point lead for Huron with 2:08 left to go. Trying to come in. That's going to be a travel as Flag ended up off balance. Slipped the foot as Smith comes back to inbound for Pioneer. Pioneer down by 3. The opportunity to get to a 1-point game or tie it. Even take a lead on a three-pointer that they get fouled on. Poole back in for Huron. He replaces Hudson. Smith into Dunlop. Dunlop bringing it ahead for Pioneer with 2:04 left to go. Blank on the far sideline. Blank gets it as Dunlop over midcourt. Dunlop gets it over to Blank. Now over onto the near wing. Smith on the near side of the paint. Puts it up. In and one. Smith to the line. He has 7 points, trying to make it 8. He can tie it up at 38 apiece with 1:52 left to go here in the third. The Huron cheerleaders letting themselves be heard. Pioneer will join them. That up and in by Smith. He has 8, and it is 38-38. Here comes Huron bringing it ahead. The Pioneer cheerleaders will come out for the varsity game. Flag has it in the front court for Huron. Gets it over back to Humphreys, now over on the near wing. Ekeney has it over on the far sideline, back over to Poole. Poole over on the near wing. That's Humphreys. Humphreys gets it back over to Flag. Flag all the way into the far corner for Ekeney. Now back on the near wing. Flag thought about a three-pointer. Smith watching him. 2-11's battling. Now back over to Ekeney. Down the baseline. Ekeney puts it up and in. That's his first points of the game. Back to a 2-point lead for Huron. 40-38. Pioneer in the front court. Floater put up and in by Dunlop. The game is tied again at 40. Dunlop has 12, leading all Pioneer scores. Ekeney has it in the front court. Back over to Poole. Poole off the top of the key. Now gets that over to Busby. Busby over to Ekeney. Ekeney back over to Humphreys. Humphreys over onto the near wing for Flag. Flag working against Smith. Over to Ekeney. Ekeney gets it over on the far wing for Busby. Now Poole working his way on the far sideline back. Flag thought about the three-pointer. Flag down the near side of the paint. Underneath that, tipped away by Costello. Picked up. Here comes Pioneer. Costello into the front court. Pioneer able to get the lead for the first time today if they can score. Over on the near wing, Dunlop has it. Dunlop just over midcourt on the near sideline. Dunlop trying to get around Ekeney. Screen there. Humphreys top of the key, Dunlop top of the key. Watched over there by Busby. Dunlop into the near corner. Dunlop puts it up as that will do it for the end of the third. At the end of 3, it is 40-40. Pioneer has tied this game up. They had 17 in the third as opposed to 13 for Huron. Andy Spencer going to help us out on stats. He'll be our statistician for the varsity game. We're very grateful for him. How'd the freshman team do? 73-45 for the freshman team. Hope the varsity team can have that level of a win, but it's going to be a difficult game between these two teams. Very well balanced. Huron versus Pioneer for the SEC Red title. Patterson Wilkins in front of us to inbound. Hayes watching him. 8 minutes up on the clock as we are in the fourth. And ball back to Poole. Poole brings it over midcourt for Huron. Over on the far wing is Purnell. Purnell gets that back over to Enkenhe. Now into the near corner. Three-pointer put up off the bottom of the rim, pulled down by Costello. Coming down the far wing is Dunlop for Pioneer. Dunlop into the paint. Dunlop puts it up, rolls around and in. Pioneer has their first lead of the game. Dunlop has 15 points. Huron quickly in the other direction. Enkenhe into the paint, puts it up. That's going to be a foul. Enkenhe has it at the free throw line. Forgive me if I'm murdering that again. Didn't get a chance to double check. Up and in as we came in and went right to broadcasting. 42-41. Pioneer with the lead, but Enkenhe with an opportunity to get it tied up with the free throw. Second shot coming for Enkenhe. Up and in. Enkenhe has 4 points, and it's 42-42. Pioneer in the front court. Dunlop has it. Dunlop over onto the near wing. Hayes into the paint, that put up and in by Kesenich. Kesenich gets the pair and one. Kesenich with 11 points. Opportunity to get the lead here. Or get a 3-point lead here, 44-42. Kesenich to the line, bends the knees, puts it up, puts it in! And Pioneer with a 3-point lead. Kesenich with 12 on the game. Poole brings that for Pioneer over midcourt with 7:15 left to go. Here in the fourth, Pioneer up 45-42. Now Enkenhe comes up, puts it up and in, and the foul. So again, Enkenhe with an opportunity to get this game tied. He has 6. Opportunity to make it 7. Good battle between these two JV teams with 7:07 left to go here in the fourth. Enkenhe puts it up and in. We're all tied up again. Enkenhe with 7 points for Huron. Hayes inbounds it to Dunlop. Dunlop in the backcourt for Pioneer. 7:04 left to go. Hayes back over to Dunlop, ahead to Blank. Now over to Hayes on the near wing for Pioneer. Dunlop just over midcourt. Blank onto the far wing. Bounce pass over to Dunlop. Dunlop top of the key. Enkenhe watching him. Dunlop dribbles to his left. Dunlop looking for a place. Over to Hayes on the near sideline. Hayes triple team back to Dunlop. Dunlop over into the far corner. Costello puts up the floater off the near side of the rim, out of bounds. Huron's ball. They have the opportunity to take the lead back here with 6:38 left to go in the fourth. Poole brings the head for Huron up the center of the court. Poole into front court for Huron. Poole bounce pass over on the far wing for Lennox. Lennox moved that down, put up and in by Purnell. Purnell now has 12 points. Huron back to a 2-point lead, 47-45. Hayes has it. Huron trying to poke that back. Grab by Purnell. Now Poole into the paint off the side of the glass. That ball tracked down by Dunlop. Timeout called by Dunlop with 6:03 left to go. Huron has really moved, helped defense. They have had a rotating defender come over and double team whoever has the ball. Now that means that someone should be open for Pioneer, but finding that open player and getting the ball to him before the Huron team rotates again has been difficult, as Huron has made that change recently. 6:03 left to go here in the fourth, 47-45. Huron with the 2-point lead. Again, freshman game was 73-45. Pioneer with the win. Varsity contest coming up next as we have a good crowd coming in for both of these squads. Lots of students for Pioneer already in here across the way to our right. Huron has a number of students continuing to come in across the way to the left. Lots of Huron parents to our left and Pioneer parents to our right. As Blank looking to inbound it, Dunlop has it in the backcourt, gets it back to Blank, back to Dunlop, Dunlop brings it ahead. Enke watching him, Dunlop over to Blank on the far sideline, over to Kesinich, bounce pass, Costello trying to put it up, out of bounds, that's going to be Huron's ball. They have the 2-point lead and looking to extend the lead. Enke. Inbound, and no, they talked it over. Pioneers balls. The officials talked it over. They explained it to the Huron coach. He's not happy. 5:49 left to go. Blank has it in the near corner. Now over to Costello. Top of key. Smith over to Dunlop in the far corner. Dunlop work his way around the arc. Dunlop comes back just inside of midcourt. Patterson Wilkins watching him. Now Dunlop dribbles to his right, to his left, dishes off to Hayes. Hayes thought about it. Travel. That'll turn over to Huron with 5:26 left to go here in the fourth. Enke gets it in to Purnell. Purnell over midcourt. Huron looking to add to their 2-point lead. Enke coming down the baseline. Blank ends up bumping him, trying to get in front and bumped him trying to get position. That is going to be a foul on Blank. Huron to inbound. 3 fouls on Pioneer, 1 on Huron this fourth quarter. Poole to inbound. Baseline left. Poole. Skied over to Purnell. Purnell on the near wing. To the near side of the paint. Puts it up and in. 4-point lead for Huron. 14 points for Purnell. Smith in the front court. Over to Blank. Blank. Over on the near wing. Hayes for 3. Off the near side of the rim. Pulled down by Patterson Wilkins. Here comes Huron. Purnell brings it over into the front court. Purnell gets it back over to Patterson Wilkins. Now over on the near wing. Enke has it. Patterson Wilkins moves it over to Poole on the far sideline. Poole over on the far wing. 4-point lead for Huron and the ball. Purnell on the near wing. Purnell puts up a 3-pointer off the back of the rim, pulled down by Hayes. Here comes Dunlop for Pioneer. Head to Hayes. Hayes up the near side of the court. Hayes on the near wing. Into the near corner for Blank. Travel called. Blank took a stutter step before dribbling. 49-45. Huron with the lead. 4:18 left to go here in the fourth. Poole has it in the backcourt for Huron, calling out signals. Poole makes his way over midcourt. Poole, watched by Dunlop, now gets it over on the near wing to Patterson Wilkins. Purnell down the baseline, dishes it off underneath. That put up by Lennick. Ball pulled down. Huron gets the steal. Now that back. Enke over to Poole. Poole right on the P for Pioneer. Poole down the near side of the paint. Poole dishes it over. Enke, that's going to be a travel. 3:43 left to go. Pioneer ball here in the fourth. They're down by 4. It's going to be inbounded on the far sideline. 49-45. Huron with the lead. Hayes has it in the backcourt for Pioneer. Back over to Dunlop. Back to Hayes on the near wing. Over to Blank. Blank into the paint. Bounce pass. That put up by Smith. Wouldn't go. Again popped up by Kesnich and in. 49-47. Kesnich now has 14 points. Huron in the front court. Timeout called by Huron. They have the 2-point lead. 3:23 left to go here in the fourth. Let's play a little push on here for you. .23 left to go here in the fourth in the JV contest between Huron and Pioneer. 2-point lead, 49-47 for Huron. They'll have the ball in the front court. Pioneer needs a big stop here. Zap wiping it up there. Coach Fuller got the freshman coach got a couple towels over there for Pioneer to clean things up. Huron to inbound right in front of the scorer's bench. Purnell looks to inbound. Again, 3:23 left to go. Purnell gets it into the backcourt for Poole for Huron. Poole working against Kesnich. Poole over midcourt. Poole on the far sideline. Double team. That moved over to Patterson Wilkins, taken away by Blank. Here comes Pioneer looking to tie the game or take the lead. Dunlop over midcourt. That is going to be a foul on Enke. Enke. Smith inbounds it, gets it over to Dunlop, all the way over to Hayes on the far wing. Now underneath, trying to get to Smith. That comes back to Dunlop. Top the key for Hayes. Now work his way around. Dunlop over on the near wing to Hayes. Hayes gets it back to Dunlop. Dunlop into the paint for Blank. Bounce pass underneath. Trey's trying to put that up. Is off the glass. Wouldn't go. Here comes Huron. Patterson Wilkins with it. Moves it over. Bringing it ahead is Purnell. Purnell over midcourt with 2:38 left to go. Purnell on the near wing. Dishes it over to Patterson Wilkins on the far wing. Now Poole gets it back to Patterson Wilkins. Enke has it on the near wing. Enke thought about it. Gets to the free throw line. Now that put up by Patterson Wilkins. Off the rim. Rims out off glass. Pulled down by Kesnich. 2:18 left to go here in the fourth. Pioneer down by 2. Dunlop has it in the front court. Smith coming, puts it up off glass, wouldn't go. Ball trying to pull it down. That grab by Patterson Wilkins. 2:05 left to go. Purnell has it in the backcourt for Huron. We hit the 2-minute mark. Huron with the ball and the 2-point lead, 49-47. Purnell comes over onto the far wing. Purnell dishes it off over to Lennox. Lennox over onto the near wing for Patterson Wilkins. Patterson Wilkins gets it to Enke. Now back over to Lennox on the far wing. Poole, far sideline, over to Purnell. Purnell down the far side of the paint. Purnell to the baseline. And put up, and will it count? It looks like it'll count, and one. (51-47), 4-point lead. Purnell looking to make it a 3-point trip there the old-fashioned way. Costello back in for Pioneer. Purnell with an opportunity to make it a 5-point lead. Up off the rim, pulled down. Here comes Pioneer. Dunlop has it in the backcourt. 1:31 left to go here in the fourth. Huron up by 4. Hayes has it on the far wing. Now over to Dunlop. Dunlop for 3 from the near wing. Off the rim, pulled down by Hayes. Travel call. Blank can't believe it. There were, I think, 2 Pioneer players trying to get the rebound. And keep the inbound. Baseline right. 1:19 left to go. Purnell brings it into the front court. Purnell down into the paint. Purnell puts it up. That knocked away. Purnell gets the rebound back. Kesnich gets the second rebound. That pulled ahead by Dunlop. 1:06 left to go. Pioneer down by 4. Dunlop over on the near wing. 51-47. Dunlop just inside of midcourt. Timeout called by Pioneer with 56 seconds left to go. We'll have the varsity contest coming up next as Coach DeWolf talks to his team across the way. And we'll have the varsity contest. Not sure, as this game has gone by fairly quickly. Varsity contest typically scheduled to start around 7 o'clock. And now it'll depend on how quickly the athletic department wants to get things going over here. Now Pioneer to inbound, down by 4. 56 seconds left to go. Blank gets it into Dunlop. Dunlop over to Hayes on the far sideline. Hayes back to Dunlop on the near wing. Back to Hayes for 3. That rims out. Tipped down by Costello. Picked up by Poole. 44 seconds left. Poole double teamed in the backcourt. Poole working his way up over midcourt. Poole bounce pass into the far corner for Patterson Wilkins. Poole gets it back. 32 seconds left to go. Pioneer has to foul with no shot clock, down by 4. I believe that was Blank with the foul. Poole the opportunity to make a 6-point lead with 32.4 seconds left to go. That would put a lot of pressure on Pioneer. First shot by Poole is up and good. 52-47. Poole has 7, trying to make it 8. He can make a 6-point lead with this free throw. 2-possession game if he hits that with 32.4 seconds left. 2-possession game anyway. But that makes it 53 as he has 8 points, 53-47. Dunlop in the front court. Over onto the near wing. Dunlop gets a screen. Dunlop puts up a three-pointer off balance. That pulled down by Kesnich. Ketchness looking to put it in. Wouldn't go, but a foul underneath with 20.5 seconds left to go. That's good. Put Kesnich to the line, shooting 2. He can get back to a 4-point game. Kesnich dribbles, puts it up, puts it in. Kesnich with 15 points. He has the lead for all Pioneer players. Flagg has the game high at 20. One more coming for Kesnich. Again, trying to get back to a 4-point game. Kesnich puts it up, rolls around and in. 4-point game, Kesnich with 16. Knocked away by Hayes, but that is going to be a foul, and that will put Huron to the line. 17.9 seconds left to go. Poole to the line shooting 2. He was perfect last time he got to the line. He can put back to a 6-point lead. Poole bends the knees, puts it up. Off the front, the back of the rim would not go. One more coming for Poole. Big difference between 5 points and 4 points. 4 points, you could get fouled on a three-pointer and tie it up, although not very likely. Poole dribbles, second shot coming, bends the knees, puts it up. Off the back of the rim, that pulled down. So 4-point game here. Dunlop into the front court. Dunlop down, puts it up off glass, no foul. And moved over. Hayes steals it away. Knocked down, popped up high. Loose trying to get to it as that ball fired ahead, and that will do it. At the end of the game, it is 53-49 as Huron wins the JV contest. We'll be back with the varsity contest coming up next as it was Pioneer